How to make an RC car battery last longer. Well, my first tip is not actually about the battery itself, but more about the way you drive. Here's how not to drive if you want your battery to last a long time.
If you drive a lot like this and brake really heavily, if you're on and off the accelerator all the time, like hard on, hard off, hard on, hard off, hard on, hard off, rather than just driving nice and smoothly, just gradually feeding the power and building that speed up, rather than that hard on, hard off. That is what is going to kill your batteries. I'm not saying don't open the thing up right to its top end, just gradually feed the power in rather than hard on, hard off, hard on, hard off. So you want to extend the battery life of your car? One of the key things is keep it smooth with the driving.
Okay, nice simple tip number 2. If your car has got brass bushings fitted as standard, swap them out for ball bearings. This is a relatively cheap and simple job to do. The ball bearings will decrease the amount of friction in the car, thus you'll be able to run faster and for longer using the same amount of power from your battery. So that is going to extend the runtime of your battery. Nice simple mod. Well, I say the bearing swap out is a relatively cheap job to do. There are bearings like this basic one for the Traxxas Slash and that basic range of Traxxas cars, or you could opt to fit ceramic bearings, which are things used in fidget spinners and high-end skateboards, which just roll and roll and roll. Now, I fitted these to my Traxxas Fortec 2.0 VXL, spent an awful lot of money fitting ceramic bearings throughout the car. Does it increase the runtime on the battery? It certainly does. Not only that, when this thing comes to a stop, instead of rolling for 15-20 feet, this thing now rolls for 60-70 feet. That is the difference the ceramic bearings make to the rolling resistance on a car like this. More benefit fitted to a faster car like this than there is to that basic Slash. On the Slash, you're not necessarily feeling the benefit of them. Although that said, if you fit ceramic bearings to the Slash, you're definitely going to notice the increase in runtime from your battery. Now, a third tip on how to make an RC battery last longer: reduce the weight of your car. The heavier it weighs, the more demand is put on the motor, the more current the motor draws, the more faster it uses the battery pack up. So the less weight in the car, the less sort of rolling resistance even it has, the less hard the motor's having to work, the longer your RC battery is going to last. You can go from mild to wild cost wise in terms of reducing the weight. You could fit your car with all lightweight aluminum parts, carbon fibre parts to drastically reduce the weight. The more carbon fibre you're going to fit on there, the more it's going to cost you. However, you can do simple things, even like this little battery tray here along the top. You could simply drill a series of holes at even intervals out there, reducing the weight. Now, if you do that and all the different bits along the car in here, you are going to save quite a few grams. Now, people laugh at this until they've picked up a car that has had all the parts drilled out, and you go, whoa, that's really light. Trust me, it does work, and it's a cheap, free and easy mod to do. You just got to be a bit careful and sensible about where you're going to reduce the weight from. As an example being, you're not necessarily going to want to reduce it too much from the suspension bits that are taking a hard knock and things where you want the strength still to remain in there. So you need a bit of thought on the lightweight, but reducing the weight is definitely one good way to make your RC battery last longer. Okay, now my fourth and final tip on how to make an RC car battery last longer is take care of your batteries. This is a well cared for Onyx 5400 milliamp pack. You will note the thinness of it. This is a badly taken care of Onyx 5400 milliamp pack. You will note the swelling. This one is going in the bin very shortly, as that is dangerously swollen, as yours truly has simply been driving like an idiot with that one, hard on and off the throttle. That's what the kind of damage it can cause to your battery. When it becomes this puffy, you've got very little choice to throw it in the bin, and that's a nigh on $80 battery. A lot of money just to waste on there. The other thing is, when you have finished with your battery, don't immediately go and stick the thing on charge. Leave it 15-20 minutes to cool back down. It can get quite warm, particularly if you're driving quite fast or pushing the thing quite hard. So leave it to cool down. That will definitely help overall extend the life of the battery and keep that runtime high. Lastly, when it comes to battery storage, this is something that has become dear to my heart, as I've had one pack recently just puff up and hard shell pack exploded in the case because I've not used the thing for about 3 months, and the thing just got too low and the thing just puffed up and just completely ruined the battery. I would recommend buying a battery charger, something like the Hi-Tech 2, which has got a storage facility on a battery, so you can actually select a storage option if you're not going to use your battery for a few weeks, and select that, leave that on like it's doing the storage thing, and then you can safely go and store the battery away in your thing. Likewise, don't store a full battery for weeks at a time. It can damage it, cut as much to reducing the runtime of the thing by as much as 50%, so I'm told. So you don't want to store your batteries too empty, you don't want to store them too full, as either way that can cause damage to the battery. Any damage to the battery going to affect the runtime. I hope you found those tips on how to make an RC battery last longer both practical and useful. The bearing versus the bush, very easy mod to do, not that expensive. The ceramic bearing, you can go sky's the limit on the thing, but you will feel the extreme benefit. Nice to do if you can afford it. The battery charging stuff, fairly simple, but how many of us, including yours truly, failed to do it properly and paid a price with an overly swollen pack like that one, resulting in it being chucked in the bin tomorrow. Lightening the car, that is a very, very cheap and easy mod to do. So there we have it, how to make your RC battery run for longer. Hope you found those tips useful. If you did, then please share with friends and by all means subscribe. We hope you liked this video. If you did, please click on the circle image to subscribe. Thanks for watching.